Hello, I'm Scott Amy, Senior Director for Worldwide Technical Training at Microsoft, and I'd like to welcome you to Microsoft's official certification exam preparation course. Let's now take a look at what Microsoft certifications can offer you. Microsoft-related jobs are consistently ranked among the top in demand technology roles and are continuing to grow in total market share. Earning a Microsoft certification can help you in a number of ways. It can help you demonstrate your knowledge in the latest cloud skills areas. It can help you contribute more effectively in your role. It can help you build industry-recognized and transferable skills. It can help you advance and accelerate along your career path, and it can help you earn more in compensation. We're frequently evolving our certification training and our exams, updating our existing certifications, and launching new certifications to ensure when you say you're Microsoft certified, it means something. So thanks again for your interest and commitment to Microsoft.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Liberty Munson, who leads our psychometrics program to review how we design our exams at Microsoft, including the types of questions you may see and how your score is determined.
Hello, I'm Liberty Munson, Microsoft Psychometrician. It's my job to ensure that whatever tool or process we use to evaluate skills is valid and reliable. So at the end of the day, when you say you're Microsoft certified, you truly have the skills you need to be successful. Today, I get to talk to you about our exams and help you get better prepared so that you can have a successful certification journey. So let's start with the basics. Most of our exams have between 40 and 60 questions. Because Microsoft is constantly updating our exams, the number of questions you see may vary if you have to take an exam multiple times. Some of the questions are worth more than 1 point. Keep in mind, there's no penalty for guessing, so you should answer all of the questions. You may also have questions that cannot be skipped. Be sure to read the instructions carefully so you aren't surprised when you cannot return to a question. If you aren't sure about an answer, you can always mark your questions for review and return to them before leaving the section or the exam. How much time should you plan for your exam? For specialty and role-based, plan for 180 minutes. 150 of those minutes will be used to answer the questions or complete the exam. 30 minutes are for reading the instructions, providing comments, getting your score, and so on. For fundamentals exams, plan for 90 minutes. Of which 60 minutes is for the exam and 30 minutes is for that miscellaneous stuff I just mentioned. Microsoft exams contain a wide variety of question types, from multiple choice to build list to drag and drop and hot area. It's not just multiple choice questions, which is so cool. We also just recently introduced some performance-based items on our role-based and specialty certifications. In addition, those certifications will have case studies that require you to integrate information across multiple sources in order to answer the question. So let's take a closer look at what the structure of an exam question looks like. All of our exam questions on our role-based and specialty exams follow a similar format. They start with information about the technical environment or a scenario, the problem that needs to be solved, the goals that need to be met, and a question statement. Questions are simply a goal statement and a question statement. Sometimes they're even simpler than that, with just an instruction statement telling you to answer yes if the comment is true and no if it's not, or to match a definition to a word. An instruction sentence is included when you have to take multiple steps to answer the question. This will indicate what needs to be done, how many answers to select, and if each selection is a complete or partial answer. Pay attention to the instruction sentence because it tells you a lot about what is required to answer the question. Here is an example of what a role-based or specialty exam question looks like. As you can see, we have a technical environment, a business plan or problem, a goal statement, and then the question statement. In this case, because you just have to select one answer choice, you don't have an instruction statement. As I mentioned, the fundamentals exam questions are simpler in structure. In this case, you can see that it's just a goal statement and a question statement. I chose this particular example because it illustrates something else that can be unique about some of Microsoft's certification questions, and that is that it only has 3 answer choices. And that is by design. So if you ever see one of these questions The right answer is among one of those three answers. There's not a missing fourth choice. In 2018, Microsoft began adding labs to our certification exams with the goal of having at least one lab with at least 15 tasks so that candidates can show by doing rather than show by knowing. Let's take a closer look at what those labs look like. Here are three examples about the lab interface. Starting at the left, this shows the standard lab interface with the Azure portal on the left side of the screen and the tasks that need to be complete on the right. The test taker completes the tasks in the Azure portal and when complete, submits the lab for scoring. Similarly, the second image shows what the interface looks like for labs that require multiple virtual machines to complete. In the last image, you will see an example of what the lab interface looks like in the situation where the lab is used as a resource. In this experience, the candidate must navigate and explore the lab in order to answer the questions. These questions cannot be answered unless the candidate knows how to find the information in the lab. This design is used for job roles where the tasks are too long to perform, are overly complicated, require expensive resources, or simply take too long to process. Now let's take a look at how scores work. At Microsoft, all of our certification exams have a cut score of 700. This is not equivalent to 70%, which is a common misperception. This is a scaled score where the raw cut score is translated to 700 and the remaining points possible are distributed across a range of 0 to 1,000 through a mathematical conversion based on the raw cut score being equivalent to 700. Why do we do this? Imagine if you see a harder set of questions, should your cut score be the same as someone who got an easier set of questions? No, that's not fair. By scaling scores, we ensure that the difficulty of the questions you see is taken into account in where your cut score is set. That's really the only fair approach. So how do we set the cut score? It's based on conversations with subject matter experts about the difficulty of the item pool in relation to the skills of the target audience. Some other tips that I'll leave you with as you prepare to take your exam. Remember, no points are deducted for wrong answers, so you should answer every question. Go with your gut and don't overthink it. If you're overthinking it, chances are you're making it too tricky. Our questions are not designed to trick candidates. They're designed to test your knowledge and skills. If you have an instant reaction to what the answer should be, that's probably the right answer. Some questions cannot be revisited. Make sure you read the instructions so you know when that's the case. Some questions are worth more than 1 point. So at the end of the day, the best advice I can give you as you go through your exam is to answer every question. You will not be penalized for wrong answers. Questions can be worth more than 1 point. It's only in your best interest to do that. Microsoft has many different resources to help you prepare for your exam, including hands-on labs, self-paced learning through Microsoft Learn, and practice tests, among other options. But you should be wary of using resources that may contain incorrect or even illegally obtained information, such as brain dump sites. If a site promises that you'll pass or guarantees it, odds are good that it is not a legitimate test prep site. Stick to using the recommendations on the exam details page, Microsoft Learn, and so on. You can find a lot of great information on Microsoft Learn, including videos explaining each of our question types, a walkthrough of the exam registration process, the exam development process, and even a place to volunteer to beta test future exams. It can sometimes be difficult to get started, so let me highlight some tips. The best place to start is with the exam details page. Download the skills outline and practice the tasks listed. Complete the learning path on MS Learn, review documentation on docs.microsoft.com and our Microsoft blogs, ask others how they perform each of the tasks, schedule the exam as a forcing function, schedule time to study, put it on your calendar, and take a practice test. As you're preparing for the exam, you really should register for it. Nothing like having a deadline to increase your motivation to study, I say. Register for it through the exam details page. Simply select the register button and follow the prompts. You will need to log into your Microsoft account, and then you will need to indicate if you're taking the exam online or at a test center. After you've made that selection, you can check the availability for the date and time of your choice. Here's what to expect on exam day. When you start the exam, whether you're taking it at a test center or via online proctoring, you will be asked to verify your identity. If you're taking the exam online, you will also be asked to do a room scan to make sure that your environment meets Microsoft security requirements. Then the proctor will unlock the exam. You will need to agree to Microsoft's exam's non-disclosure agreement before you can begin. Once you launch the exam, read the introductory materials, especially the information we provide you about timing and the structure of the exam. This is useful information that will help you plan how to use your exam time. Note the number of questions, the number of sections, so you don't run out of time. I can't tell you how many times I've read comments that someone didn't realize there were more questions and ran out of time. You're responsible for managing your own time. Be sure you know what to expect. Then you will take a short skills survey followed by the exam. Make sure you read the specific introductions for each section because some items and some sections will not let you go back or return to. And once you leave a section, you will not be able to return to it. Mark questions for review and return to them before leaving the section or if you have time at the end of the exam. After you submit your exam for scoring, you can provide comments on any of the items that you think could be improved. Once you receive your score, I hope you get to celebrate. Best of luck on your certification journey.